All right, this week in religion, we've been talking about Jesus and his friends and how he also wants us to celebrate that he is our friend and that he is always with us. What I want you to do is I want you to take for a moment and I want you to think for a minute. I want you to think about what it's like to be a good friend. Okay, so I want you to think to yourself, close your eyes and imagine that you have 2 pieces of candy in your hand, 2 delicious pieces of candy, maybe 2 Starbursts, 2 lollipops, something like that. And your friend has none, but would like some. Isn't saying, please, please give me some, please, please give me some. But you know that they would probably like to have a piece of candy too. What would a good friend do? They would share, right? They would share. So friendship is all about sharing. You can share your love, you can share your things, you can share your concern. And what Jesus does is he really tries to model, that means to show us what a good friend is really like by the way he is with his friends, so we can learn. So yesterday, you watched a little video about him having breakfast for his friends, right? He called them in and they came in and he had a warm fire for them. He had breakfast for them so that they could sit around and enjoy time together talking. So he does those kinds of things for his friends. So he's really trying to show us how we should be treating our friends. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to listen to a story about Jesus and his friends. This is another story about them out on the boat, but this time Jesus is with them. Jesus was very busy, and there always seemed to be a lot of people wanting to see him. So one evening he said to his close friends, "Come, let's go in our boat across to the other side of the lake." So his friends got into the boat with him. So he decided, you know what, let's go spend some time out on the boat together. In the boat, Jesus soon fell asleep. Suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. The waves began to crash against the sides of the boat. So how do you think the people are in the boat are feeling right now? A little scared, right? The waves began to spill into the boat. "Wake up and help us," shouted Jesus' friends. "We are going to sink with the boat." So there's Jesus. They're waking him up. They're saying, "Wake up, you have to help us." So they're probably very afraid. Jesus stood up. "Be quiet," he said to the waves. "Be still," he said to the wind. And then everything was calm. Everything that was dark and dangerous and scary just went away. And the day came bright and clear. Looks very different, right? "What made you so scared?" asked Jesus. "Don't you believe in God?" Jesus' friends knew they were safe, but they were now wondering more than ever. "Who is our friend Jesus?" they asked each other. "Who is he? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Well, what Jesus, I think, was trying to show them in the story was that I am with you always. He is with us when we are by ourselves. He is with us when we're with our families. He's with us when we're with our friends. He's always with us when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're scared, just like his friends were out in the boat and they were saying, "You have to wake up. You have to save us." He did, and he said, "Be calm, be silent," to the wind and to the waves. So what he's trying to teach us is he is always with us, and he's never going to leave us alone. And that's what a good friend does. So again, he's showing us through how he treats his friends, how we should treat our friends so that we can have that friendship with him. So in your religion book, what I'd like you to do is open up to page 227, and you should see where it says, "I am with you always." Okay? What I'd like you to do is color that message in, what Jesus is saying. And even though it's written on the sand, is sometimes when you write things on the sand and then the waves come in and it washes it away, it's still there. You might not see it. And that's the way our friendship is with God. We don't see Jesus and God every day standing in front of us. But what we do see is we see our friends. And in our friends, we're able to see Jesus and God by the way we treat them and by the way they treat us. And that's the important message that Jesus is trying to show on this page. So we're going to color those words in, I am with you always, because what he's saying is, even if you can't see me, I am with you always. Just like my friends in the boat, with the wind and the storm that came up, I was with them. I'm with them. And I'm with you, even though you can't see me, or you might, or like the words might get washed away when the water comes in. Be not afraid. I am always with you. So on the next page, after you finish coloring in those words, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at this page. Okay. And so they have some seashells here. And on this page, it says, how can you thank Jesus for being your friend? So this is a wonderful gift that he's given to us, to always be with us like he is with his own friends. So when you want to thank someone for something, sure, you can write a thank you note because that's the proper thing to do. But Jesus doesn't really ask for that. He asks for us to show how we are thankful to him for being our friend by being friends with others and treating our friends the way he treated his own friends. And so if you look on these seashells, they each say something different. This seashell says, we can pray. So we've talked before how we can pray to God. We can pray for our friends. We can pray for all the things that we have. We can pray for those that are sick. That's a wonderful way to show our thanks to God, by using that gift of prayer. We can also help others. We talked last week about how we can use words other than I love you to show our love for people. We can say, can I help you? Are you okay? So that's another seashell we can color in. All right. Be kind. We can be kind to our friends. We can be kind to our brothers and our sisters and our family and people that we don't even know on the street. We can be kind to them. We can smile and say hi. We can share. We know we've talked about how we can share. We show our love for God by sharing with others and by being fair, like when we're playing a game or listening to one another and not always talking and letting someone else tell a story, by being fair. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to think about some ways today that maybe you can thank Jesus for being your friend. Maybe you prayed today, so you could color in that seashell. Maybe you were kind to someone. You could color in that seashell. Maybe you helped others today. Color in that seashell. Maybe you shared today. You could color in that seashell. Or maybe you were fair to someone today. Maybe you were several of those things today, and maybe you were only one. That's okay. But try to be at least one of those things today so that you can thank Jesus for being your friend. All right, my friends, good job, and I will see you tomorrow.